It has started.
The Second World War began, and everything changed.
What if I told you that one ordinary man made a single decision that changed hundreds of lives forever, yet the world never knew his name for nearly 50 years? Then one day, he walked into a television studio, completely unaware that the people around him were alive because of him. This is his unbelievable true story. Hundreds of miles away, in London, life seemed peaceful. People were busy, living their ordinary lives. Among them was a young man named Nicholas Winton. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a politician. He was simply an ordinary stockbroker, preparing for a winter holiday. The telephone rang. It sounded like any other ordinary call, but it wasn't. On the other end was a friend calling from Prague. His voice was calm, but filled with urgency. "Nicholas, forget the skiing trip. Come to Prague. You need to see this with your own eyes." For a few seconds, Nicholas said nothing. Then, he quietly replied, "I'm coming." That night, Nicholas couldn't sleep. The phone call kept echoing in his mind. Something didn't feel right. Without wasting another moment, he packed his suitcase, cancelled his holiday, and chose a journey that would change history forever. The next morning, Nicholas left London with nothing but a small suitcase and a simple plan. He believed he was only going to help for a few days, but sometimes the smallest decision leads to the greatest mission. As the train moved across Europe, he looked out of the window, completely unaware that history was waiting for him in Prague. The train finally stopped. Nicholas stepped onto the platform, expecting to see an ordinary railway station. But what he saw left him speechless. Hundreds of children, holding tiny suitcases, waiting, without knowing what tomorrow would bring. Every face carried the same question: will someone save us? Some children smiled, as if everything was normal. Their parents smiled too, only to hide the fear in their hearts, what tomorrow would bring. A mother stepped forward, holding her little daughter's hand. She didn't ask for money. She didn't ask for food. She asked only one thing: "Please, save my child." Nicholas looked into the little girl's eyes and couldn't find any words. That evening, he couldn't stop thinking about those children. Every face, every smile, every goodbye stayed with him. He realized if no one acted, these children would lose everything. The next morning, Nicholas rented a small room. One wooden table, one chair, one notebook, and one fountain pen. That was all he had. No government office, no large organization, no team waiting to help. Only one ordinary man, trying to do the impossible. The first child's name was written carefully, then another, and another. Soon, the notebook began to fill with hope. Every sunrise brought more families, more children, more desperate parents. Every sunset brought another question: will there be enough time? Finding safe homes, collecting documents, writing hundreds of letters, convincing strangers, working through sleepless nights. Every single day became a race against time. Saving the children was only the beginning. Now, he had to find families in Britain willing to open their hearts and their homes. It seemed almost impossible. Every day, he wrote letter after letter after letter, asking complete strangers to give a child a second chance at life. Some never replied. Some said no, but a few said yes. Days passed, waiting for answers. Every envelope carried hope. Every reply could save another child. There were forms to complete, permits to arrange, lists to prepare, and endless documents to be checked again and again. One small mistake could stop an entire journey. Every time, a frightened parent asked, "Will my child be safe?" Nicholas answered, with quiet confidence, "I'll do everything I can." Then, the first train left Prague. Children waved. Parents stood silently, hiding their tears, holding on to one last hope. Each rescue train carried more than children. It carried dreams, hope, and the prayers of every parent left behind. But beyond the railway station, Europe was changing. Every newspaper carried darker headlines. Every passing week brought the shadow of war closer and closer. Nicholas didn't know how much time remained, but he knew one thing. Every train that left today might be the difference between life and death. By August 1939, the atmosphere had changed. Fear filled the streets. Every passing day brought Europe closer to war. Still, Nicholas refused to give up. One final train was being prepared. More than 200 children were waiting for one last chance. Parents packed tiny suitcases with trembling hands. Some slipped family photographs inside. Others tucked a favorite toy beneath folded clothes. At Prague railway station, mothers held their children a little tighter. Fathers tried to hide their tears, and every goodbye carried the hope that it was not forever. No one imagined that history was about to change in just a few hours. Then, on the 1st of September 1939, Germany invaded Poland. The Second World War had begun. Borders closed, railway lines were shut down. The final rescue train never left Prague. More than 200 children, whose names had already been written in Nicholas's notebook, were left behind. The platform that had once echoed with the sound of departing trains fell into complete silence. There was no whistle, no movement, only shattered hopes and tearful faces. For many families, that goodbye became their last. Historical research indicates that most of the children who remained behind, along with many of their families, were later killed during the Holocaust. It was a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly hope can disappear when hatred takes its place. Nicholas never considered himself a hero. After the war, he quietly returned to his ordinary life. He rarely spoke about what he had done and kept the notebook filled with children's names hidden away for decades. The world moved on, and his extraordinary act of courage was almost forgotten. Nearly 50 years later, everything changed. In 1988, Nicholas was invited to a BBC television program. He believed he was simply there for an interview. He had no idea that the audience around him held the greatest surprise of his life. During the program, the host asked a simple question. If anyone here owes their life to Nicholas Winton, would you please stand?
The host turned to the audience and asked, "If anyone here owes their life to this gentleman, would you please stand?"
For a brief moment, there was silence. Then one person stood up, another followed, then another. Within seconds, almost the entire audience was on its feet. They were the children Nicholas had rescued, now grown into adults, surrounded by their own families. The man who once thought he had simply done what was right suddenly realized the true impact of a single compassionate decision. Nicholas Winton helped save 669 children. Those children grew up to become parents, grandparents, teachers, doctors, artists, and countless other ordinary people living extraordinary lives. Because one man refused to look away, generations were given the chance to exist. His story reminds us that courage is not always found on the battlefield. Sometimes it begins with a single choice: to care, to act, and to help when no one else will. The greatest heroes are often the ones who never ask to be remembered, yet their kindness echoes through generations, changing the world one life at a time.